nothing happens. Best time to take action is now.
This is the time to work on you and your business.
So I've created a group,
An online academy for professionals and entrepreneurs. Power Partners will help you
to start helping yourself.
Helped me change my life and my business.
Not a Toastmasters, it's not a BNI, it's not any of these, but it is. So it's all this stuff in one place.
Get the results that you deserve right now. So what are you waiting for? Let's make it happen.
see you in Power Partners.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy
It's a
Tuesday.
beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day.
Think I'll go outside for a while. Oh, let's
Yeah.
age ourselves, Barb.
And just smile. I was going right with you, Barbara. We was about to.
Which is why we get along so well. You know, the thing is, I think that's one of my biggest things for these last months is find your tribe. And we talk about it all the time. Find your tribe.
Mhm.
Find the people who respond the way you do. And this wasn't my topic for today. However,
Always,
fit.
you know, we just get right into it.
it just all goes in because so often we are trying to build our business or based on what somebody else wants, not on who we really are. And then we wonder why we struggle.
Yeah. Or now I'm going to add something to that.
Absolutely.
I did it twice to me. Well, really
Yeah.
3 times. I'm going to tell myself. I'm going to be this fully disclosure here. Or you are basically building somebody else's dream and you're forgetting to build your own.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I know I mean, maybe this is the topic that we're supposed to talk about today. One of my things is don't build your business on somebody else's shoulders. And what I remember when I heard that, I was like, what? Okay, let me run that by me again. Don't build your business on somebody else's shoulders. And you know what? That's absolutely the truth. And we've both done it.
Yes.
You know, and nothing against the companies that we were with. But you know what? That's not just who we are. you and I have such a bigger dream. Embrace your bigger dream.
Yes.
And,
And
you
don't
know, like I find so many people that are identifying with one specific thing, one coaching practice, one network marketing company, one whatever it is. And then they become known as the, Tupperware lady, or the, whatever it is that they're
the
doing.
Mary Kay, yeah.
Or the Mary Kay. And those are absolutely phenomenal companies.
Mm-hmm.
People have become millionaires with those companies. Absolutely. However, I was a victim of one of the companies that got shut down.
Oh, yeah.
So I lost it all.
Yeah.
Did I know that was going to happen? Absolutely not. It came out of the blue. And it's happened to me twice.
Yeah. See. Yeah.
And you would think you would think I would have learned after the first time, but you know what? You don't. My favorite saying. You don't know what you don't know until somebody else tells you something that you don't know, or until it hits home so hard that, why didn't I listen the first time?
I know. Yeah.
We don't
Good
think it's
lesson.
going to happen to us.
Yeah.
And
We're still just, we go out and we do what we're gonna, what we feel like is, right for us. And sometimes things just happen, like you said, Barbara. You don't know what you don't know. But going through that, I think it teaches you, it builds you up, like we're saying, at the long run, to say, you know what, with this stuff that just happened, this is telling me I need to just build on what I'm supposed to be doing, my gifts and talents in my own. And nothing's wrong, like you said, nothing's wrong with the business we talked about. A lot of people, have grown and made money and built their own empire from it. But you have to know who you are. I think that's where the key thing is. You have to really know where you are, where you want to go, and then go that direction. Yeah.
And one of the things, I think, when I finally realized that those companies, they are the tools, they're the wheels that are going to get you to where you want to go. However, they're not the entire car.
I like that.
You are the driver of the car. So like with you now, you are the driver of the Diamond Factor experience. Whoa. What does that encompass? You know what? You can add to it as much as you want.
As many layers, right?
Put the layers in. As you learn, it's going to give you the ability to grow.
Yes.
For myself, let's introduce ourselves. You're the founder of the Diamond Factor experience. Okay. I am the founder of the Wellness Playroom, where wellness is not just about not being sick. Yes. It is about being well in every area of your life, in your relationships, in your physical health, and in your finances.
Yes.
So all the things that you and I do come under those umbrellas.
Umbrellas, yeah. Umbrella.
That's the key to it. And sometimes it's like, don't build your business on somebody else's shoulder. And I think this is probably why we're talking about it too, because our guest today is a business coach. And I'm sure that she's going to say the same thing. And so many people get caught in that trap. And and it's not that there's anything against the companies themselves. No. It's just that they are a tool. They're not a vehicle. They're a vehicle. They are a vehicle, but they're the wheels on the vehicle.
They're the wheels. I love how you said that they're the wheels.
They're the wheels on your vehicle.
Get you to where, I was like,
and we all need one. We all need a vehicle. So get passionate about your vehicle. I am passionate about helping people to get their physical health. Be at your ideal weight. Look younger. Feel your best. That's what I want, because I'm on a mission to make happiness the norm rather than the exception. That's my overall mission.
I love it, love it, love it. I love when you say that. Happiness the norm.
Make happiness the norm. And part of happiness is having good relationships, having a business that's visible out there, which is where you come in. I love the visibility that you have given me as a person, me personally. Wow. Look at what she can do for you.
I love it, love it.
I'm on a TV show.
Yes.
The first day that I met you, that it would come to this. And now we've been on almost 2 years.
Every time you say that, it just blows my mind, Barbara. It just blows my mind.
Almost 2 years.
Wow.
And what a journey it has been through you growing and doing things that scared the living daylights out of you.
I was like, I don't know about this.
And the times it was like, I don't know about exactly what you said. I don't know about this, but you know
this. But you know, Barbara, what pushes, like you said, you just stated, the passion behind it of what your purpose is and what you're trying to do. It pushes you no matter what the fear, no matter what, I don't know this, or maybe I don't, maybe I shouldn't do it. You know, all that stuff, the maybes and all the coulda, woulda, shouldas and all that stuff kind of goes to the wayside. It does go to the wayside because you know that you have that passion and purpose for it. And you say, you know, the last thing you say is, you know what? I'm going to do it no matter what. I'm going to see what happens. Yeah.
And thank you so much for saying that, because my next comment was that so often do not listen to the dream stealers.
Ooh.
Or the naysayers.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you know what? Somebody told me, Barbara, the people that do that, the reality of that is that they're fearful of doing what they want to do, what they feel like they need to do. So instead of them doing what they need to do, they just try to steal, you know, the dreams from other people, because back in their mind, they're scared themselves, or you know, they're having some issues with themselves.
Yeah. And I think for me, one of the things is that they get to the point where they're not willing to even step out of their comfort zone. It's a comfort zone. And hey, you know what? We all have one.
Yeah.
And I have been like, am I going to do that? You know, we all still have that. Absolutely. Coming on to this show, I was on the wrong link. And I'm sitting there panicking, so going, why is this saying that it's ended? We haven't ended. We haven't started yet. I was totally on the wrong link. So that happens. Things like that happens. That's a hiccup. But it's like, okay, Barbara, for heaven's sakes, there's got to be another link here. Just go find it. And that is indicative of anything else. Okay, this one little thing that I just did, that didn't quite work out the way I thought it was. And I was listening to Jim Rohn yesterday. If anybody listen to Jim Rohn, he has got such an absolutely amazing sense of humor. And he says, well, when something like that happens and you think, oh, maybe I should go do this. And he just says, don't sign up for that program. Go back to the basics. What was the direction you were going in? Don't let distractions get you. And so this morning was on the wrong link. And it was like, ooh. So you have two choices right at that moment. This in itself, I knew it was just a glitch somewhere that I had the wrong link. However, people let little things like that stop them.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
That's
Find there's a way under it, around it, through it, over it. Find somebody to help you, which is where coaching comes in.
Yes.
Get a coach, help you through it.
Everybody has a coach. I keep telling people nothing's wrong with asking questions. Yeah. And getting what you need. If you don't know, like you always said, you're this famous line, you don't know what you don't know. And it's okay to say, I don't know. We all don't know everything.
Right.
That's why we're here together in life, to help each other out. And that's why everybody has their own little gifts that they have, because we all can come together and learn from each other. And
Right.
even if you have the same type of gift, I'm going to add this. If you have the same type of gift, that doesn't mean you might look at things differently than the person that has that same gift. So you two can learn from each other. Yeah.
That's where collaboration comes in.
Ding, 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 ding.
That's why we need to collaborate with people. Like with me, I talk to relationship coaches, other coaches, because I'm a personality science trainer. That's one of under my umbrella of having good relationships. I'm a personality science trainer. So I talk to relationship coaches and parenting coaches, and because we're all about having good relationships.
Yeah.
But
and
a friend of
the blueprint, the whole, about understanding people's personalities. I love it.
understanding personalities. But because personality impacts every relationship that you absolutely have. Whether it's a coworker or a child, or as I say, the person's lying beside you, or the person looking at yourself in the mirror.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Quit beating yourself up. That's one of my biggest things that I start people with. Quit beating yourself up for the things that you are not, and celebrate the things that you are.
Yes. Yes. And
Everything starts there.
And just going back to what you said, Barbara, about you help people with with the relationship, the personality, and you said it, you hit it. You have to start with yourself first. So when you talk to other people, the first thing you always say is, okay, let's see what your code is. What your code is. Your code is before we can even talk about how to really get with other people and build those relationships with others, be it as business or personal. You got to know yourself first.
Right. Exactly. And know your strengths. And yes, there are things that you can work on. Like, well, okay, I'm going to tell on myself. I'm quite proud of myself. Pat yourself on the back. If you are doing something that is good, pat yourself on the back. So this is an atta girl, Barbara.
Atta girl, Barbara.
This comes under that heading. My code, my last code, my least dominant code is what we call my knowledge person. And that's the person who likes to research and get numbers and the data, know the data, and do the research. That's my lowest one. However, I'm also working on it. So I am starting to work on little things that I can do to raise that part of me through doing research and stuff. Well, one of the things I was blessed, two of my friends called me up and said, Barb, we're going to do a thing called the Positivity Quotient. And I went, what is that?
Yeah,
what is that? Well, it's a research project that they've done all the research about how our brain works. And our brain is constantly sabotaging our potential for performance and for happiness, all those negative emotions, stress, they are the result of self-sabotage. We do it all the time. Anyway, so we had to, there's four of us, and we had to apply for a grant to be able to do this program. Well, all four of us were accepted. Today was the first day. I'm so excited you're going to be hearing more about it, of how to train your brain, literally train your brain to be more positive. Because one of the things, we have probably 35,000 thoughts in a day.
Isn't that crazy?
If not more. Because your brain multitasks and your brain never sleeps. Even if you don't think you're listening to something, let me tell you, you're listening to something. Anyway, so all of those emotions, everything that you hear, that's why don't have the news on behind you. Do not do that. Turn off the news. Off my soapbox.
Turn off the news. I said, turn off the news. Shut it down.
Shut it down. Yeah, because it's just all the negative stuff. And that goes in, whether you think it's going in or not, it's going in. But anyways, so they have now discovered all of these, that there are the 10 major saboteurs, and they have labeled them all. And going through them, I was like, oh yeah, that's me. Oh yeah, that's me. Oh yeah, that's me. So I can't wait to as this unfolds for us. And that number one, to be accepted, to apply for the grant and get it. Kudos to the four of us.
Yeah,
And
congratulations.
yeah. So we got a grant to do it. And so now we're just excited about bringing, like my thing is, mission to make happiness the norm. But my purpose is to serve God, to learn, and then to teach others what I learn. And
Yes.
that's where this comes in. We need to learn how our brain works.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Because of exactly what we've been talking about, letting other people stop us, getting out of your comfort zone.
Not the comfort zone.
Get out of your comfort zone and just do it.
Mm-hmm.
To have that mental and that guts, let's just put it out there, that just take that first step. Even if you don't quite know what the next step is going to be, take the first step, that first inkling. Like when my friend David sent me this thing about, Barb, we're going to apply for this grant. My first thought was, why would they give me why would they give me a grant? That was my first thought.
Already
trying to, because our brains function is to keep us safe. But that was back in the day of the tigers, when tigers were chasing us. It's not, it was momentary moments of stress. So my brain thinks, oh, this is something new. Oh, I have to stop it. Yeah. It's like, no. And it was like, and now I just said, you know what? I'm going to apply for it. And if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. And got it.
And that's what, And, and it's funny, just to add to that, when you're talking about getting outside that box, out of your comfort zone and just going for it, is that I always think this what helps me out to push forward is that, okay, Barbara, you're always talking about you're forever learning.
Yes.
This is opportunity. Here's looking for the opportunities, forever learning. This is another opportunity that's coming to you. Yeah. Secondly, how is this going to help not only you build what you're building and learn, but how's it going to help others that you can help in life when you gain the knowledge of moving up in that, whatever area it is. So when I ask those two questions and remind myself of those two questions, then that's when I take that step. Because then I think to myself, okay, this is detrimental, not just to me, but to others that I'm trying to reach and help.
Right, exactly. Is it, and because, hey, you and I, we know I have thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of dollars in shelf help on the side of my refrigerator.
It's bad.
Let's just tell it like it is. Yeah. Because I have bought courses that I said, oh, well, I'm not quite ready for it right now, but I'll do it later. Well, later never comes. And then by the time you do get around to it, some of the ones that I have gotten around to, I went, ooh, I've already done this one.
Yeah,
you bought it twice. And then
we bought it twice or three times.
The same course.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you be diligent in, is this something that is very different from what you're already doing? However, exactly what you just said, will this help more people? Is this just about me? What benefit I'm going to have? Or is this going to benefit every person that I meet going forward?
In both. See, that's why I say both. Because when it benefits you, it has to be both. Because when you get the extra knowledge, Barbara, every time you learn something, like you say, you got this grant, which congratulations again. I'm so happy for you with that.
I'm so excited.
Well, when you gain all this knowledge, extra knowledge, and jump into it, as I say, because sometimes, like you said, we'll be like, ugh, but jump into it, you are just preparing yourself even more so to help others grow, because now you have more knowledge added to what you need to do.
Right. More tools. This is going to be, we are already, and to tell you the truth, Barb, I mean, I got access to it on Thursday. So started doing some of the exercises and things, these positivity quotient things. And I truly believe I'm already seeing the difference in me of just little, I can do that instead of that. When that thought comes into my head, this is an exercise that I can do instead. It's going to be huge. And it's all about having self-command of your brain. Right now, I've been learning over these years of personal development that before, my brain controlled me. I didn't control my brain. I didn't control my emotions. My emotions controlled me. If I woke up in the morning and felt sad and mad, boy, I was sad and mad the whole day. Now when I wake up and something has happened that is a little bit less than what I would like it to be. Okay, Barbara, what are you going to do about this? How are you going to respond to this?
Yes.
Is there something you can do to change it? Or is it something that you have no control over? Well, if it is something that I have absolutely no control over, let it go. Bye. So now I'm going to have even more tools to be able to show people faster, easier ways to do that.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited for you, Barbara. And one thing, I always commend you so much because you take it on. What comes your way that you can learn and grow from something. You just take it on. You don't even think twice anymore. You just like, you know what, I'm going to do this. Even back in your mind, like you said, well, why would they give me a grant? You said it, but you said it real quickly, and you said, you know what? Nope. Let's just say all they can say is no. See, that's what I always tell people.
Exactly. If you don't ask,
they can say no. People can say, well, no, and then you just move on.
And that's the biggest thing. If you have something, what's the worst thing that can happen? They say no. Well, okay, fine. Are you going to die on the spot if somebody says no to you? No, you're not.
No.
Just go on to the next person. Just go on to the next.
Yeah.
And look at all the things that you and I have done over the years, even over these last 2 years, things that we have started and tried and said, ooh, that's not what I want to do.
Yeah. Or maybe that's not the timing yet. See,
or it's not the timing of it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So if it doesn't work right now,
go for it. And you know what? I could use us as an example of the timing part of it, because remember we met through, that the organization I'm still a part of it.
Yeah, we are still a part of it. Yeah,
we're still part of it. No, we're forever part of it. But and that was another tool for me. And what's so nice about it, if I didn't start that particular, in Chicagoland area,
right,
then I wouldn't have met you. I wouldn't have met you and some other ladies that I still talk to at times. And I kept saying to you, I said, Barbara, there's something we need to be doing again. I just don't know what it is just yet, but I got to make sure we keep in contact. And I'm so glad I did that, because it happened. Maybe a year passed, or
a year. I think it was a year.
A whole year. I seen you doing wonderful things. You were on, doing your little tidbits and stuff. I'm like, there she is. And I kept saying, every time I seen you on Facebook, I said, we supposed to be doing something. I don't know what it is yet, but it's coming. And then I started this whole thing, and see the timing. Timing is important too at times.
Okay.
Sometimes you rush things or wait.
We need to. Okay. Our guest went on the wrong link too. So.
Okay. So
let me quick send her a message that to go back to the email, and there was 2 links in the email.
Oh, okay. I was wondering where the other link was coming from.
Yep. Okay, let me go back.
Okay, while you're doing that, you know what? While you're doing that, I'm going to do a commercial, and then
perfect.
We'll be
talk.
And although it may seem a little mundane, packing up boxes and being on the assembly line, what we're really doing is putting in hundreds of hours into the people on the streets who need us. And they need us in a way that none of us will ever understand. And for the last couple of weeks, I've been on the grounds every day. They know we're coming today. They know we're coming tomorrow. And they look forward to seeing us because we're the one little bit of hope that they have, to have a warm meal in their bellies and to know that somebody in the world is actually caring for them and loving them. And without people like you showing up today to give your time, your energy, and your spirit, none of this is possible. So I want to really say thank you to everyone, because what we're doing here today may seem small, but it's actually really, really big, and it's impacting hundreds and thousands of families. So I thank you, I love you, I look forward to doing this with you today. My name is Serena Buffalino, and I am the founder of Help Heal Humanity. Help Heal Humanity is a charity that is focused on unconditional giving, love, and support to some of the most vulnerable communities in the world.
Okay. Yes.
Hi.
Hello, Miss Heather. Hello, Miss Heather.
Hello. So Barbara I've met, and hello, Barbara, right?
I know it's kind of
We're
like
the BBs.
we're the BBs.
We're the BBs.
So nice to meet you. And
Lovely to see you ladies today.
yes. Yeah, and just full disclosure, because we are open to everything. Me and Barbara just talks about anything. Can you hear me? Uh-oh.
I can't hear you.
Uh-oh. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you.
Uh-oh. Something just went kind of.
I can hear you.
Oh, she says she. I love technology.
You know what? You know our favorite thing. We love technology when it works, and we love technology when it doesn't.
Yeah. Because then we learn from it.
Yeah, my Yeti wants to try to be the microphone and the speaker at the same time. So as long as you guys can hear me, I'll just not play with the Yeti.
We can hear you perfectly.
As long as you can hear us. That's
as long as you can hear us.
Yes.
That's more important too.
Yeah, and I love my Yeti, but it once in a while it's like, what happened here?
The Yeti said, I'm doing my own thing. The Yeti said, I'm doing my own thing.
It's doing its own thing.
Well, it wants to do it all. And I'm like, you can't be input and output at the same time.
It's called a takeover.
But isn't that a life lesson in itself?
I know. See, everything I told you, we learned.
It is a life. That was just, if you hear nothing else today from Heather, that is a life changer. You cannot be the input and the output at the same time. You cannot do both.
No.
Already another lesson learned just from
the
universe that gave it to Heather. Wow.
Oh. Don't worry, it won't happen again.
The universe speaks.
Yeah. So we were obviously supposed to talk. This is what we were supposed to talk about today. So it's just been wild.
It has been wild. Yep. So
I truly believe that God is in control of all of the and what we talk about. And that was for somebody out there, for somebody listening. Don't try to be the input and the output at the same time.
Yeah. And just real quickly before Heather talks about her wonderful, what she does in the world, is that, that's why you have to be open to things, especially when you're doing stuff on, TV live or whatever. Be open to it, because you never know what we're saying is for somebody out there. If you're so scripted and so just stuck to stuff, when you're stuck to things and scripted, you lose out. You can lose out on so many good qualities. And I always say golden nuggets that pop up when we do certain things. So yeah, with that, Heather, see, you just did the golden nugget for us today. Didn't even know. So don't be so scripted all the time.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so Heather, tell us about yourself.
Yes, Heather.
Lovely to be here. Thank you so much for having me on, especially through the technical difficulties, and I'm like scrambling and yeah. So I'm Heather Wylde Smith. I am an ethical business coach. I am passionate about helping high integrity coaches, healers, and service providers to find ways of marketing and selling that really feel good to them, as opposed to the manipulative, bullying, sleazy stuff that unfortunately is so common, not only in the world, but it's really prevalent in the personal growth industry, in the coaching world, the online world. And a lot of people really struggle in their business because they pay thousands of dollars to learn techniques that just aren't aligned for them. They don't feel good, right? And so my specialty is helping them to nail the basics of really high quality marketing and sales so that they can have full practices and not feel sleazy about the way that they got that full practice.
Right.
I like that.
I love that. Just because, like Barb and I, that's what we're all about, of making happiness the norm rather than the exception. And part of happiness is being authentic, be who you, and that's what we started the show with today.
Mm-hmm.
Be who you are.
Love it, love it, love it.
And be who your business is, and let your business be who you are.
Right. And it's difficult because I know in my quest to figure out how to be a coach, like I got training and I was really good at it from the start. Like I have been not really coaching people my whole life, but it feels like it. But now I have better skills and better tools, and I know what that means as opposed to just, being a unprofessional coach. But learning marketing and sales was really hard, and I kept investing in myself, and I kept having these mentors that were teaching me things, and I would actually raise my hands and say, that doesn't really feel good to me. And I got mindset shamed and told that it was just my success and money mindset that was the problem. And so, I try to have a beginner's mindset, and not run around thinking that I know everything. And so I went and I worked really hard on my money mindset and my success mindset. And there certainly was work to be done. But at the end of the day, the stuff they were teaching me still felt gross. And so it wasn't going to work for me, but you have a lot of mentors that it's their way or the highway. These people aren't true coaches. Coaches would help you customize, and they would help you tweak, and they would ask you questions to help you figure out what's going to be best for your business. A specialty coach needs to be teaching as well as asking questions to help you customize. And a lot of coaches really don't know what it means to be a coach, and they're really consultants, and they've developed a system, and they will defend that system at all costs and swear that everybody gets results with it. And oftentimes it's with stuff that just doesn't feel good, to people.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so often that's for myself too. It's like, there's no way, like I would get scripts and things. It's like, there's no way that I could pull off saying that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because you feel uncomfortable. And then, I say, like, even muggles, even people that, don't think of themselves as being intuitive or empathic, they can still sense when you don't feel comfortable. Right. And so that's a big thing that I talk about in sales, is that if you're not comfortable selling, or you're nervous about selling, or you don't like the way you're selling, you may be a fantastic coach, healer, VA, whatever, but that nervousness in the sales call is going to scare that person off. Right.
They're going to feel it.
Right. They don't know if that nervousness is about, they're not thinking it's about the sales call. They're thinking that it's maybe you're not confident in what you do. Right. So you have to cultivate that confidence and own your value in what you do. And I'm really good at helping people figure that out and get more in touch with it and convey it, especially with like intangible ROIs, like happiness. You can't put a price on happiness, right? Or inner peace or something like that. And it's something that so many business coaches are just awful at. If they can't put a price tag on you and say, well, you know, you're going to help people make more money, you're going to help people lose more weight, right? They're really crap at helping you figure out what your ROI is and your value is, your return on investment that your clients can expect, and conveying that to them. But if you can do that in a really powerful way, then you get more sales, right? So owning that value of what you do, but also getting really comfortable and finding a way of selling that feels good to you so that you can show up and be confident and book the people that are right for you and do what you're here to do in the world.
Yeah. Yes. Right. I think that was the first statement of the show today was find your tribe.
Yes.
Your tribe will know. And like, I can look back on all the times that I had so many business coaches that told me that, Barb, nobody is going to pay to get happy. And for so many years, I believed them. So consequently floundered in business, in my coaching, because people, you can't make money by helping people to get happy. Let me tell you, you can make money by helping people to get happy.
I think, you know, and I think Heather will agree with this, is the reason why is the way you spin it and the way you pitch it to others when you're selling is a whole big thing about that. Like you said, you know, it's like, well, pay for me to make you happy. Well, people be like, really? What are you talking about, Barbara? But if you spin it in a way where it's going to help them grow in their life or their personal business, you know, you spin in that kind of way, then people start saying, okay, yeah, I am having some, you know, they'll start thinking about some things. And then that will draw them to you, Barbara, more so than say, pay me to make you happy.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. So yeah. So
all the way how you approach it, right?
It's
right,
all
Heather?
exactly.
Yeah.
It is. It's you know, we hear that you've got to know your ICA and your niche. And this is one of the things that I go off about a lot in the book that I just published. This is the Online Entrepreneur Survival Guide. It's how to choose the right business coach and avoid debt and regret so your biz can thrive. And one of the biggest problems with the way that business coaching is done is that most coaches don't know how to help you get real clarity on your niche and your ICA. And I know that for me, I kept, you know, investing, and I kept taking, you know, going to all these different mentors and paying thousands of dollars for these programs. And the exercises for niche and ICA, it was basically like fill in this Mad Libs for your elevator speech and you're done.
Right.
And that's ridiculous, right? So that's one of the reasons why, you know, we fill out a Mad Libs, and then they're like, go post 5 days a week.
Right.
But they don't tell us about different type of posts. They don't really help us understand, you know, who our ideal client is and why it's important. And I didn't understand the importance of ideal client until I started geeking out about sales. And I realized, I'm like, okay, if I'm not super clear on who is going, and an ideal client really is who you're going to enjoy working with, who is ready and willing and can get good results with what you do.
Right.
That's all it is, right? But if you don't know that, then you can't ask the right questions on the sales call to find out if they're that person, right? So that's when I finally got the importance of it, because the way most people taught it was so ridiculous that I decided that, okay, it's not really that important. It's hugely important, right? So when you can get clear, you know, is this person somebody you enjoy? I think that's very important. I know I can't deliver for somebody if I don't really get them, you know? So that's that tribe, right? And you have to be able to talk to them in their language, and people make that absurdly complicated, and it's really not. You have to talk to them in their language about the things that matter to them. And so, like, you know, with the happiness, like as Barbara to my left was pointing out.
Barbara B. That's
Barbara B.
BB1 and BB2. I'm BB2.
As she's pointing out, you know, you've got to explain to them how happiness is going to impact all these other areas of their life, right? Because when we're experts on stuff and we geek out about it, we totally get that changing this area of your life is going to have a ripple effect in all others, right? And we forget how much we know, and we forget that other people don't know what we know. And so we're like, yeah, you know, come work with me. I'm going to help you be happier. And we, in that statement in our mind, we're seeing all the ways it's going to impact them, right? we have to get all that stuff from our head and put it in our copy and put it in our lives. And then people start to get it. It's like you really have to paint a picture for them, because in their, in their current paradigm, it doesn't make sense that being happier is going to help them make more money, help their health be better, help them sleep better, help them be better parents, right? You have to paint that picture for them.
Yeah. And then sometimes they might say, well, what do you mean? What do you mean I need happiness in my life? I feel like I'm happy. And all of a sudden they might look at it as, okay, you just said, what are you talking about? I know what happiness means. So that now they're like looking at you like, why are you saying this to me? And you have to make sure that you don't offend them, because you're not trying to offend them. It's just that you're just trying to teach them that, like you just said, Heather, that in different areas, when that comes in, it's a ripple effect to broaden your life even better. But they're in their mind, when you say, I'll make you happy, they're thinking, what? I am happy. And as yourself, Barbara BB, is that no, they're really not. They don't understand. That because you're the coach, but they're looking at it as, okay, she just offended me. And that's why you have to make sure when you approach them or approach people with that, it's in a light that's helping them, showing that, no, this is something for you to grow and everything. I always tell people, if you don't say what's in it for them, you're going to miss the mark every time, because they don't care about what your website looks like and what colors you have and what kind of fonts you use. They care about, what are you going to do for them?
Right.
Yeah. And this is, one of the things with ICA and niche, the first thing that I do with my clients is we talk about, like, most people will teach you, well, what's the finished result? What do they want? And I worked with a copywriting coach, and she was saying, it's really important to talk about the starting point, right? Are they a beginner? Are they intermediate? Are they advanced in trying to solve this problem? Have they tried to solve it before? Or, have they made some progress? Or are they nearly at the top of the mountain and they just need somebody to help push them that final, not push them, but help them get that final way, right? So it's important to know who you're talking to and what, this particular program that you're putting out, who is it for, right? And from there, you can talk about the symptoms, and talking about the symptoms of where they are, like, talk about, what does happiness really look like? Where are you could talk about, like, stealth unhappiness, would be an interesting topic. I don't know if that language would land with your people, but, educating people about, you think you're happy, but, your scale is kind of skewed, but giving them the symptoms so they can recognize, because they might not recognize that they're unhappy or not as happy as they could be. But if you can spell out, you find yourself, you're, not as excited to go play with your kids, or you're not as excited about your work as you used to be. Just talk about what that looks like and what it feels like in your copy. And then people are like, oh, wow, I didn't even know, right? So that's that. And that is the key to good marketing. But what most people teach you is all about hype and false promises and skewed testimonials and yada, yada, yada. And if you're not willing to do that, it can be hard to get people's attention, right? So you really have to step up your game and really know how to do good marketing. The problem is most people don't know how to teach you. So, like Barbara was saying, that, you have coaches that are just telling you, no, it's not going to work. Well, that's because they don't know how to help you make it work.
Right. When I think of the money that I have spent in coaching and having them just tell me that, Barbara, people are not going to pay to have you help them. And I said, but they do want exactly what you just said. They do want to enjoy their life. Like, I have people say to me, well, Barb, how come you're always so happy? Well, I would love to share with you how I do it.
Right.
How do I do it? And I can give you the tools for you to do it for you. That I can teach you tools. And some of the tools that I have taught people, that, like my one gal, she was just dealing with so much. And I taught her my hand technique of how to do a hand technique. And she said, and she still does it. And it's been years. She said, that's my go-to. When I start to feel that, I go to my tool. That's what I teach. And it's like, And it has made such a difference. And, there are 7 billion people out on this planet. Don't worry about stepping on somebody else's toes. There's room for all of us out there to teach people how to live a better life. And it's not just about happiness, but it's about having a fulfilling business, being passionate about your business.
We said before, yeah.
What are you doing to make a difference in the world?
Yes, definitely. And Heather, Heather, going back to what you said about, people don't understand how to market themselves and put themselves out there. We see a template or somebody says, okay, you got to do a template like this. You got to say, you'll promise them this and you'll do this and you'll do this. You're like, okay, because you don't know. You don't know, you'll know what the other barber always says. And then you do it and then you're trying to figure out, well, why am I having so much challenges getting people to understand because in your mind, you're like, I can help them. I can do this. I've been learning. I've been, getting all the education and the training.
I've been living it.
I've been living this. I got the experience. You'd be like, I have it. And then no one, it's like you're hearing crickets on the other end and people not responding back because like you just said, Heather, we're not showing what we need to show when we're marketing ourselves to others. So important.
And where we started. And we sometimes forget, and I'm just as guilty of this. I forget where I started. Yeah, because so many people are just getting started, and they have no clue that they can stop and take a breath.
Right. And they see where we are, and it's so far from where they are that it's easy for them to say, well, I'll never be able to do it. Right. And so we kind of have to close that gap. And that's why it's so important to use story elements in our posts, and in our lives. But to also know, and there's an art to that, right? Like you want to share your struggle and you have to show where you've had challenges, but you've got to do it in a way that it's a hero's journey. You're not being a victim in it. Right. And you also have to realize, we have to realize that when we're telling our story, we're really telling their story, and so we have to find an authentic way of sharing our experience that they're also going to powerfully relate to. Right. And this is it's something that most business coaches don't teach, but I wanted to address really quickly, the thing with Barbara talking about the coaches kept telling her, like, you can't do this, it won't work. So one of the big things with my book is I talk about it's about how to find and research and vet and interview potential mentors, right? So if you have, and to throw this out, this is something that's super common. A lot of business coaches will take non-business coaches and try to turn them into business coaches because they don't know what to do with a spiritual or a health or a romance coach or, whatever. They don't know what to do with that person. And all they know how to do is hype money and, and results and stuff like that. And they don't know how to, you can actually monetize intangible results. You can actually have an exercise where you can sit down and look at all the different ways that the problem is affecting them and assign money values to what it's costing them to deal with it, right? Most people don't know how to do that, but one of the things, especially if you are not in a money niche, you need to ask this person, how much experience do you have with working with non-business and non-money coaches? Have you helped them get results? I talk about in the book all the shenanigans that get pulled around testimonials. It's really gross. Some of the they're not necessarily lying, but they are not being transparent enough for you to really understand what's going on. Although there are people that are just putting out fake testimonials. But you have to be willing to contact the people who left those testimonials privately and say, hey, did they quote you accurately? Because I've had coaches completely rewrite a review I left them and make it sound way more impressive than it was. Like I gave them a good review, but it wasn't good enough. And so they changed it into this thing, you know? So, you know, you have to be willing to contact people and just say, hey, I saw you left a review for so-and-so, you know, did they quote you accurately? And then, you know, do you stand by that review today? Because sometimes maybe there's a couple of places that I've left really positive reviews because I was kind of in the honeymoon stage of the relationship, of the, you know, coaching relationship of the program. And then later in, I was like, oh, wait a minute. No, this isn't going to work. Right. And so it's important. It's important to reach out and really research, because if you have the wrong coach, it doesn't matter how much they're making, because you really don't know what they're making. It doesn't matter how much money they're helping other people make, supposedly, maybe not. That doesn't matter. If they're not the right fit for you, it doesn't matter. And so one of the things I talk about, like, yeah, there's a lot of really gross business practices happening in the industry. And there's a lot of wonderful, wonderful people who are actually doing good work and are really passionate about helping people. And I keep reiterating that, because if it weren't for this industry, like, I probably would have killed myself, like, honestly. So, you know, there are good people doing good work, but there are these people that are just here to line their pockets, and they will rationalize to themselves, you know, well, I mean, you know, 5% of people who work with me get stellar results and the rest not so much, but it's just their mindset. They're not on that.
They blame it all on mindset. Yes.
Yeah. And I talk about mindset shaming and the nonsense around mindset a lot in the book, because mindset is a real thing. Obviously, if you go through life thinking the world sucks and everybody's out to get you, you're going to have problems, right? So obviously having a good mindset is important, but it has been blown into this ridiculous thing where it just has magical properties. And I talk about one section. It's like, it's to the point that they're like, oh, if your dog pooped in your kitchen, just change your mindset about it. And I'm like, that's ludicrous. You clean up the poop, you know? So that we have to ask ourselves, you know, when somebody is talking about mindset, does it make sense to change your mindset, or does it make sense to change the situation? And maybe you need to do a little bit of both, but it's gotten to the point that it's just like, just change your mindset and everything changes. And it's like,
yeah, no, it doesn't.
Right.
I like it.
So I think that's kind of went off on a tangent there, but yeah.
No, but I got to use that one with the dog. I like that.
It's delusional. Just change your mindset. Like, no.
I mean, there has to be real. Like, one time my husband and I took a relationship class, and the instructor said, she says, ladies, I know that you are looking for your knight in shining armor. And that is so cool. But do remember that you are going to probably have to pick up after his horse.
Oh my God.
Exactly. Because in everything, there's both sides.
Absolutely.
And so let's just be real about, are you, like I like to say, rather than mindset, it's mind flow. What's your mind flow? Where are you going? As opposed to what is set. Set is, you can't move it.
Can't move it, yeah.
You can't move it? Well, no, you can.
Yeah.
Appropriately.
Well, this has been a wonderful conversation. And I'm like, dang, time has passed here. So, Heather, we're going to have to bring you back, lady. We're going to have to bring you back on another show, because we just love you. We love what you're saying. I know a lot of people are getting a lot of information for it. But can you just tell everybody how to contact you and any last thoughts that you have?
Yeah. So, so go to, I'm mostly on Facebook. That's the best place to reach me. And you can go on Amazon, and here is the Online Entrepreneur Survival Guide by Heather Wylde Smith. There's a print copy. There's an e-copy. I have a very naughty mouth. So this is the original. There is a PG-13 ebook. So if naughty language is a problem for you, I want this information. You're probably not my client, but I want this information to be universally available, because it is so powerful and it is so important. So definitely go and check that out. If you click in my banner in Facebook, it will give you the links to go to Amazon. And, you know, if you want to be an entrepreneur and you want to help people, by all means do it. Just be smart. Read this book cover to cover. And be aware of all the nonsense marketing, and I call it sociopathic sales out there, so that you're not reeled in by it and you can make the best choices for you so that you can get out and really do the work that you're here to do.
Awesome. And just to let everybody know, I was ordering the book as she was speaking. So yes, go get the book from Amazon. Yeah, I always try to do, when I see something, I try to just do it. Now I don't be like, oh, I'll wait till whatever, because you'll never get
That's
to
me.
it.
I do it as soon as I get off.
As soon as I hit on it. So I said, while I'm doing it, let me order this book now.
Thank you. I actually sent you guys a PDF copy of it.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Well, I can do it as a gift. I can give it a gift to somebody.
Give it as a gift. That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Heather. So we will be bringing you back, and Barbara
will bring you back.
She's our person that gets all these wonderful, wonderful people guests on our show. So she'll definitely will contact you again so you can get back on the show. And Barbara, I was thinking we could probably bring Heather back on too for our anniversary that's coming up. That'd be awesome.
We will.
Yeah.
And bring her on the panel.
I'll come party.
We'll come party. Party. Awesomeness.
Awesome.
Thank you for having me on. It was so good to meet you, Barbara. Barbara, it was so good to see you again.
Yes. We'll see you, and you'll be seeing me again. So we'll chat.
So as we always say, we'll see everybody next Tuesday. And like Barbara always says, always make happy the norm and not the not norm. So with that said, we'll see you next week. Thank you, Heather.
Have a good one.
Bye, ladies. Bye, everybody.
Bye.